What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue, episode number 160. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'm your host, Joe Amato. Antonino is off tonight, a little under the weather, so I'm going to take over for him. But tonight's going to be an awesome episode. We've got a lot to cover. We've got a couple of matches to cover, some major tournaments that wrapped up over the weekend. Yeah, we got a lot to do here. And for the first time ever, for you guys coming in to the live broadcast on Facebook, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try some live calls. We're going to open up the phone lines in a little bit and take some of your calls live. We're going to see how it goes. So bear with me. I'm flying solo here, so I'm going to try to get to as many comments as I possibly can. We're going to dive into as much of the matches as we possibly can. And, yeah, we're going to take some calls at the same time. But before we get into it, guys, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we're at Dudes in Blue. That's where you can get a hold of us as usual. I'm going to do a quick little roll call here for the ones that are hanging out with us so far in the live feed. And then we're going to jump right into the content and open up the phone lines. So real quick, Felix, what is up, dude? Steven, what's up? David from Eastern PA. Dave, love the Dudes in Blue shoes while you're on the field at Yankee Stadium for the starting 11 flags. That is totally awesome. Jamal, what's going on? Chris Martinez saying, what's up? Ronald saying, hey. And look, if you're in the live feed on Facebook right now, share this broadcast with your friends and let them know that you're spending some time with, well, just me tonight with the Dudes in Blue. Jorge checking in, saying hello. Adrian saying, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man? And Stephen Berg saying the injury's finally caught up with us. We are definitely going to dive into that for sure. Guys, where do we want to start? Let's start with the match from Wednesday night, July 3rd, the match at home against the Seattle Sounders in a relatively dominating performance for NYCFC. 3-0 victory. I thought it was a great performance. Not the best first half from what I can remember because it feels like it was forever ago. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're going to open up the phone lines to talk a little bit about the game. And now again, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open up the phone line, and it's going to be a first come first serve because I'm flying solo here, trying this on for the first time on my own. So if you want to call in, do it. Let's talk, and let's have you be the guest of this episode and talk a little bit about NYCFC versus Seattle. The phone line is going to be open up. It's 646-535-7982. So if you want to get on with me and chat a little bit about this match, now's the time to do it. So David is saying on Facebook that it was a game of two halves. That indeed it was. First half not so good, but we've been that way, right? NYCFC has been that way this season where first half, not so hot. Second half coming in, guns blazing, substitutions making impacts, and just craziness. I mean, like absolute craziness. So, we had Maxi Morales scoring in the it took 58 minutes to break down Seattle to get one in the net here. And hey, we got a call coming through, so let's see how this goes. Hey, you're on with the Dudes in Blue. Give us your name and where you're calling from.
Nope.
Yes, who's this and where are you calling from?
It's Felix from the Bronx, New York.
Felix, what's up, man? Hey, could you just lower the broadcast behind you?
Yep, just did it.
Felix, we're talking NYCFC versus Seattle. What'd you think of that game?
Very good game, very dominating performance. Was very happy the fact that we got the result. I just love the fact that we made our adjustments, got 3 goals in, and gave me plenty to celebrate about Wednesday night.
Definitely something worth celebrating, right? So again, 2 goals from substitutes. We had Medina scoring a goal and actually picking up an assist technically, and Ofori getting that absolute smash in the 87th minute. Amazing changes in the second half. And that seems to be the case for NYCFC this season, man. It's like, this is, look, I'm okay with getting the wins. It's like, but man, those first halves are difficult to watch sometimes.
Yeah, they are, man, because of the fact that, you understand the build-up that happens in the first half. Teams and, both sides are, trying to feel each other out, see what kind of style they're playing. And sometimes it gets to a point where it's just, okay, are we going to get something going here now, and I feel that, especially I've noticed in the last 5 games where we've had, those, feel-out first halves and had really strong comeback second halves. And I feel that, it's helped us to stay consistent and we're able to make adjustments and we're able to get the right subs in. And, yeah, man, Ebel Ford just scored a smasher on Wednesday, man. That was in what we call Spanish golazo.
It was a golazo. Dude, I'm not even Spanish, and I was screaming golazo, aso, aso on to my TV.
Yeah, so to see that, and it's funny because I met him last Friday at CFA, and I just told him, man, listen, once I saw him line it up, I was like, you know what, he's gonna put Orlando City on us again, man, because when he scored on opening day was a smasher too. So I think it was about same place, I'd say same distance, right, same type of shot, and once I saw him line it up, I was like, oh man, it's going in. I'm getting beer thrown on me after that. So it was a pretty fun goal to watch.
Totally worth it. Like one of my favorites of the season because like it's from a total unusual suspect, right? Like Ebenezer Fori coming on to kind of like shore up the defense a little bit, right? And here he comes out of midfield taking like a 25-yard shot and just burying it from way downtown.
Yeah, it was crazy. Something, I mean, just, there are no certainties in this game, right? But I think one certainty is that when Ebenezer Fori lines up from about 35, we're going to get one. I think that's pretty certain, man. So I mean, he doesn't get those many chances. I mean, obviously he's not a priority, as far as our attack goes. But I think he's one of those valuable outside shots, So definitely. Yeah,
for sure. Is he the new Tommy McNamara giving us those golazos from downtown?
Tommy Mac. I think so, man. I think it's kind of like his role now. So I think he's definitely taking on the mantle. It's not the hair. I mean, you got to admit, Tommy Mac. Because those are the two stages of Tommy Mac, pre and post haircut. So I mean, we're talking pre haircut Tommy Mac. Yeah, I think it's a fair comparison to make, definitely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, man, thanks for the call. I'm going to jump. I appreciate it. Felix, thanks so much for joining in.
Wait. I got to say it.
What do you got?
And everybody knows it. You're a lot louder in Yankee Stadium, but I got to make it happen. Peace, guys.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Felix. That was awesome. We want to get another call in talking about the Seattle match. Yeah, Ebenezer Fori totally stepped up and absolutely buried an absolute blast. Dave checking in on Facebook saying, dudes, what's up? We're taking some comments. Jimmy also checking in on Facebook. Yo, what's up, dudes? We're talking about Antonino is out tonight if you're just joining. So I'm filling in, kind of taking this as a solo run here. But we're taking your calls. We just had an awesome call from Felix talking about the Seattle match. If you've got some comments on that match or even about the match from last night, feel free to give a call. The call-in line is 646-535-7982 to get on live with the Dudes in Blue. This is pretty freaking awesome. I got to say, Felix, dude, that was amazing. So thanks so much for calling in. We're going to maybe shift gears a little bit and talk about the NYC Portland match from last night. Now, I will tell you guys, in fairness, I was at a comedy show last night, so I didn't get to watch the game live, but I did catch it when I got back home. I watched it pretty late. And, man, let me tell you, this was a game where we really felt the absences of this lineup, right? So much so where Domet Torrent literally had 5 bench players available. I mean, it was really bad. And I have the list here of the injury report, and just so we put it on paper as to who was out. So we had Hebert definitely out with the hamstring injury, still bothering him, which is driving me absolutely crazy. Tony Rocha out with the hamstring. James Sands out, that arm still busted. Thanks, Stoyer. Joe Scally out with the hip. Medina was listed as questionable, but obviously made his appearance and was on the bench. Matrica and Tajuri Shradi both out injured. Big losses for this club. And then on international duty, Sean Johnson and Alex Collins. And hopefully, those guys should be back, you would think, for Wednesday night against Orlando City in the Open Cup. But this was a game that I felt, man. I mean, look, NYCFC 14 in a row, unbeaten in all competitions. It was going to catch up at some point, right? I mean, like, let's be honest. Eventually, with the injuries, international duty, and honestly, just the amount of games that were piled on to this team, that this was a recipe for disaster. Something was going to happen. Something had to give, right? David on Facebook is saying that Maxi needs to play in the midfield and not as a winger. There are fewer chances when Maxi is a winger because it minimizes his creativity. I like that. I like that comment, Dave, because I agree with you. And I said that a while ago. I think Maxi does not need to play as a forward even. At best, a true number 10, an attacking midfielder where he's able to create those opportunities. When he's being quote unquote limited as a winger, he does not get to be as creative. Another player I was kind of disappointed in, and I think it was positionally, was Ronald Matarrita, who started as more of a right winger, and then in the second half switched over to the left, and that's when things actually magically clicked for him. Naturally left-footed player, whips in those crosses from the left-hand side. It did not help from the right. I was not impressed with him at all on that side. He looked uncomfortable. I mean, again, just coming back from injury and all, but still very, very uncomfortable in that match. So it was just not good. It was not fun to watch, like by any stretch of the imagination. Again, call in 646-535-7982 if you want to get on live with Dudes in Blue. We took a great call from Felix earlier talking about the match from Wednesday night. We're now talking about the Portland match. David says, if we had to lose a game, this was the one to lose. Well, here's what I'll tell you. The Portland was on fire. You have to give full credit to Portland Timbers because every single time that they had the ball, it seemed as though they created an opportunity. Whether it was balls over the top with our high line defense, or turnovers in midfield that just wound up turning into a scoring chance for them. They ultimately scored on the set piece, where it was really, really poor clearance. I think it was Maxime Chanot who couldn't clear the ball off Diego Valeri's cross off of the set piece that ultimately fell essentially to Sebastian Blanco's foot to put away a nice finish. But Portland was dangerous like the whole game. They really were. Like, it was really difficult for NYCFC, not just to break this team down, but to defend against them. They were just much quicker, much sharper. Their passes were crisp, and they shoved it right down our throats. So that's where we were. Daniel saying, hopefully nobody else gets injured anymore. Yeah, dude. Like, that's because we're we are bare bones right now. Felix saying that it was a threadbare lineup and we only gave one up. Time for the guys to get healthy. And look, yes, it's time for them to get healthy, but what time do they have, right? You got to travel down to Orlando on Wednesday for the Open Cup match, and you're coming back up to play in New Jersey on Sunday. Like, there's no time to rest and to get healthy. I mean, Sean Johnson, granted he didn't play, and same thing with Alex Collins, but coming off of the Gold Cup and the Copa America, there's really very little rest for these guys. And now you're thrown back into the mix. You're thrown into a team now where you haven't played with in almost a month, and now you're expected to play two more matches in the span of 5 days. It's very, very difficult. It's really, really difficult. JKE Rhino says Portland defense was good. I have to admit, yes, they were good. I mean, we were also not as creative as I think we could be, and because you're missing guys like Tajuri Shradi and you're Alexandru Mitrița who draws defenders, and it's difficult. But, it is what it is. And Jamal Shanti, correcting me from before, it was Ibiaga that didn't get that clearance, I guess, off of that Sebastian Blanco goal. 646-535-7982 if you want to get on the line and talk a little bit of NYCFC. It's the time to do it. Let's get some calls in. Come on, man. This is like the first time we're doing this, mainly because I don't have a co-host. Nobody could join me on the show because it was short notice. But again, we had a great call from Felix earlier. So, unfortunately, let me get to a comment here. David saying, how do we not use all three of our subs? We were dead with 10 minutes left and refused to use our last subs. I don't remember not using the third. But if that's the case, Dom has done this before, whether we're losing or winning. Like, it's just sometimes he just doesn't do it. I don't understand why. I'm not saying that I agree with it or whatnot, but it's the way that he operates every now and then. TJ on Facebook is saying, in my opinion, we didn't play wide enough, early enough, and we paid for it. Again. The wide play is tough, TJ, because you had Ronald Matarrita playing as right wing and Maxi essentially playing as a winger as well. I mean, it really didn't allow for our traditional wide play. When you're missing a guy, and this is why I love Tajuri Shradi, when you're missing a guy like Tajuri Shradi in a game like this where you're also missing Mitrița and you're also missing Hebert, you feel it. You feel a guy like Tajuri Shradi not being on the pitch, not giving you that wide play. and not giving you those opportunities, right? I would have liked to seen a little bit more from Anton Tinnerholm, but I think the way that Portland was playing, I think it needed to keep our defense honestly a little bit more honest. So they were playing balls over the top like crazy, it seemed like, and our defense needed to just kind of stay put. So even Tinnerholm was relatively quiet, except for that chance that he had that he missed. But JKE Rhino on Facebook. Let's talk about yellow cards. Portland got a lot and was playing rough. Yes. Okay. Red card or not, it was the foul. I don't remember who it was because I watched it so freaking late last night. But a high boot to Ben Sweat. Was it? Oh God, I have to go watch the replay. Red card or not? High boot gets the yellow. I don't know, man. Definitely dangerous. Ian Joy in the broadcast was funny because he's kind of like the old school where he likes play getting physical, and if there's no blood, there's no foul. But I mean, look, in today's game, when you raise your boot and it hits the player in the face, like that's a problem, right? Like that's obviously not safe. It's endangerment. He kicked him in the face, Steven says. And yes, he did. He absolutely did. Very, very dangerous. Ted Uncle, trash. I don't know. It's referees in general, I feel like are getting worse. You know, like the more technology we have and the more technology these referees have, the worse they're getting. Like that's just like that's what's happening. Like we have the cameras that are now able to tell whether or not this was a red card or not, and you don't even really look at it. It's just it drives me insane. It's like there's somebody literally watching the video saying, Ted, you should look at this because you kicked him in the face. Or are they just playing FIFA in the VAR booth? I really don't know what they're doing up there. But nevertheless, you know, it is what it is. He said, Felix is saying, but he red carded 2 of our guys at the Derby last season for unquestionable fouls. Was that Ted Uncle? Yeah. I don't know. Really difficult. I want to get another call on the line if we can get one in. Come on, who's feeling gutsy? Let's talk. Let's talk NYCFC. Like this is your time. I don't know if we're gonna do this again. 646-535-7982. Just call, take your cell phone, pick up the phone, and you're gonna talk to Joe live on Facebook in front of all these people, and also on the pod who are listening. So keep those comments rolling in. So the loss to Portland. I want to know in the comments. Is this an acceptable loss given the circumstances? Is it a culmination of everything that's been weighing down on this team with regards to scheduling and regards to missing players and regards to international duty and injury and all this crap? Is it all just compounding to finally, burst the bubble? Are you okay with this result given the form that NYCFC is in? I want to know. Like, put the comments in. I gotta know because the throat is starting to get, kind of hoarse because I'm the only dude talking. I'm used to the other guy on this side of the screen. He's usually over here, and he's usually picks up when I'm done talking, and he's not here. Thanks, dude. Getting sick. Jeez. It's acceptable. So we're okay with this win. I mean, with this loss. You hear me? I'm delirious. We're okay with this loss. I gotta say, I'm okay. I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't happen at home, but nevertheless, it happened. We're getting a call here, and we're gonna jump. We're gonna jump to the phone lines here. Hey, you're on with the Dudes in Blue. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, Joe. David File from Eastern Pennsylvania.
Dave in PA. What's up, dude?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thanks so much for calling in. What's on your mind?
So I just want to say a big shout out to the third rail for the TIFO, the Tim's Army. Great idea. Super creative. The detail and all of the boots, amazing.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. The Tim's Army. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are you cool with this result?
So if we had to lose a game, this is the game to lose because it's only a 3-point swing. It's a team in the Western Conference, so it doesn't affect the Eastern Conference with the exception of us getting points. So if Dominic was playing so that we win Wednesday in the Derby, then I would totally be okay with it. But I don't know if that was the case.
Right. Now, again, 3 points would have put us in second place if I'm not mistaken after this match.
Yeah, but at least, like, look on the bright side, we do have games in hand, so I'm not too stressed about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we're looking towards, the rest of the week where we have Orlando on Wednesday night down in Orlando, and then Red Bull over in New Jersey. Is this, with the injuries to Hebert and Matriza and now Tajiri Shradi, what's your outlook of these next couple of games? Because I'll tell you what, dude, like if it was anything like last night, we're in trouble this week. It's starting to finally catch up.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Red Bulls, especially playing at Red Bull Arena. Orlando, they're doing well in the Cup, but besides that, they're not doing too much. I think we should have pulled out wins in both games, so I think we have a good chance at winning that game. It's the Derby that I'm really worried about.
So, you think NYCFC is going to make a cup run here?
I think so, 100%. I think we are very well set up for the Open Cup. We had pretty much the best setup with playing a USL team first, DC United, who's not the best. Now we have Orlando, and after that, once you get to the semis, it's anyone's game.
Right. So it's essentially it's 3 games for a piece of hardware for NYCFC, right? 3 wins.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for the Open Cup this year.
So, I was never a huge fan of the Open Cup, probably because it's just sour grapes because we've usually sucked in the Open Cup for the past 4 years. But this year we have a real chance, but a lot of it came from our depth and our depth proving that they can show up and win matches. But our depth is now 5 guys on the bench, dude. Like I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I know it's Orlando, but Orlando always plays us hard no matter who's on that team. Orlando always gives us a hard time, especially going down there.
Yeah, but hey, Justin Hawk and JP Torres both played really well in the Cup. I think they'll be strong. Besides that, the depth is something to be worried about. I usually don't care about the Open Cup. I just want to win a fucking cup before the Red Bull. Sorry for cursing, but that if we win that, then hey, Red Bulls can suck it.
Honestly, like that's the only reason why I want to win the cup is so we can like rub it in Red Bulls fans' faces.
100%, me too.
Have a piece of hardware, and they don't. It's just the way it is. Do you have you got a score prediction for Wednesday night and for Sunday?
Wednesday 2-1, and then I'm going with a 1-1 draw against Red Bulls.
You're going with a draw against Red Bull. You think they're going to draw 2 games in a row? You saw what they did to Atlanta on Sunday, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to be optimistic. I drink the Kool-Aid a little bit, so I'm usually optimistic. I'm never going to think we're going to lose, to be honest. So.
Nah, that's fine. So that was an unfair question. It's like a rookie move, man. Come on. Well, that's cool. That's cool. We appreciate the call. You have anything else before we let you go?
No, that's it. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. All right, so that was Dave from PA. If you'd like to get in on the action, call 646-535-7982. Get on Live with the Dudes in Blue. Dude, that freaking rhymes. 646-535-7982. Get you on Live with the Dudes in Blue. Well, just one dude in blue. If you want to hear from anybody else, feel free. The phone line is open. I'm going to keep that open for the next 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes while we wrap up the show. So NYCFC's got a busy week. Very, very busy week. And I'm a little concerned just with the performance from last night, going into Orlando and then going into Red Bull. If Tajiri Shradi can shake off that questionable label and Matriza can shake off that questionable label, I did read that James Sands maybe James Sands might be ready for Wednesday or Sunday. I'm not sure. I gotta go back and check that. But nevertheless, Sean Johnson should be back. Alex Collins should be back, shoring up that back line, and hopefully we'll be able to pull out those results. This is a difficult name to pronounce. Rairi. I'm gonna give a shot and say Rairi. Matarrita is not a winger. When Dome moved him to left wing in the second half, he never really pushed forward, left Tati on his own a bit. But I think naturally that's where Matarrita belongs. If we're gonna play him as either a wingback or a winger, it's got to be on the left. That's where he thrived. That's where he succeeded. That's where he belongs. And that's why things kind of turned up in the offensive front for NYCFC in the second half, but could not convert any chances. It just didn't happen for them. Just unfortunate. Keep those comments rolling on Facebook, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. And if you are too, smash the like button if you're watching on Facebook Live. Really appreciate you spending some time with me. Again, thank you for your patience and for your understanding as Antonino is out and we're trying something new and I'm trying to fly this thing solo and it's fun. It's definitely fun. If you guys don't have anything else NYCFC related, there's plenty of other stuff going on to talk about. Number one, Women's World Cup. USA. Wow. Absolutely dominating performance from the United States. Netherlands definitely gave their all, gave a difficult time to the United States, at least in the first half. Keeper for Netherlands. My God. My goodness. I mean, listen, a couple of the shots were hit right at her, but nevertheless, she made some amazing saves to keep the Netherlands at least alive until Rapinoe's PK. And then Rose Lavelle. Can you put her in our midfield? Because, my God, she dribbled through everybody, just took it to the top of the box, found her space, and just buried the shot to put the game away at 2-0. Absolutely awesome. Congratulations to the U.S. women's national team. 2 in a row. Only other team to do that was Germany. So there you go. Back-to-back champions of the Women's World Cup. Absolutely fantastic. Felix is saying that the U.S. ladies played their hearts out and did it with character. Yes, they did. They were absolutely dominating. David is saying if there had to be only one of my teams that won on Sunday, it was that game. Well, I think that was the game that had the most at stake, obviously. Unless you're a fan of the Gold Cup, in which, let's talk about that for a second. Now, I didn't watch that entire game. I watched probably the last 15 or 20 minutes of it because, like I said, I was not around. I got home, and then I got home at 11 o'clock, and I started watching soccer at 11 o'clock, and I don't think I stopped until 1 a.m., something like that. So it was a late night of soccer. But the men did fail, Roger, on Facebook. The men failed us, and sadly, it was needed. The team still isn't that good. Now, they played against a Mexico side that was lacking, I think, 6 or 7 of their starters, and of their main starters, of their stars, whatever you want to call them. But that didn't matter because one goal was all that was needed to seal the Gold Cup for Mexico. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Really is. They had a decent run, but the last couple of games where they didn't really dominate in the goals department showed that there was a vulnerability to this team, and it finally came through. Unfortunately, it came through in a final, and unfortunately, it came through to Mexico. But listen, credit to Mexico. They killed it. They won it. Mexico won the Gold Cup. Woo! But here's my question for you. Now what? So we lost the Gold Cup final. Is it now time for the mob to go after Greg Berhalter, or not? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to get in on the action and you want to talk about this live, call 646-535-7982 and you'll be live with Joe from Dudes in Blue. I'm going to turn this into a song. JK, you said it was Mexico versus Pulisic. And here's my problem. This is why Argentina doesn't win things, which we'll talk about. It's because you can't rely on one player to do it all. It just does not happen. It does not happen. Pulisic cannot win a trophy on his own. Just there it is. So is it Berhalter to blame, or is it the players? Put them in the comments. Let us know. Is it the players, or is it Berhalter? Oh, come on, Roger. Roger's saying it's time for Berhalter to leave. Do you guys agree with that? Come on. I mean, he isn't focused on us anymore. I don't know about that, Roger. I don't know about that. I think this is still a very young team in the grand scheme of things, right? And again, I am playing kind of devil's advocate here. He's got a young group of guys. It's his first tournament. Took us all the way to the final. Ultimately lost the final. But at the same time, very young players. My biggest issue is not necessarily tactics. My biggest issue is that if you're going to try to play possession, you have to be more skilled on the ball. And that's just something that the United States needs to adopt. We need to be better on the ball. The skill is not focused on here in this country. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The United States men's national team needs to be better on the ball. Plain and simple. I don't care how physical you are. I don't care how much stronger, how much bigger, how much faster you are than the other team. If Mexico can dribble the ball around you and pass the ball around you and pass circles around you and have a great first touch no matter where they are and find space wherever they can, they're going to exploit you. It's just going to happen that way. The team that's better on the ball will prevail. It's just going to happen. This is not American football where the most brute force absolutely wins. This is a game of finesse and skill, and when the United States doesn't have it, we're going to fall. And we fell last night to Mexico. It's just what happened. Maybe it's a wake-up call, but how many more wake-up calls does this team need? How much? I mean, it's just, how many more wake-up calls does this team need? Felix says we need more ballers and less brawlers. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Absolutely. But that's my point. That's my exact point. Jamal is saying we have Lewis as a skilled player. Is he? Why isn't he getting the playing time? And even a guy as skilled as Jonathan Lewis, when you put him up against a Jonathan Dos Santos, does he stand a chance? Not really. Not in my eyes. Daniel is saying, give Carlos Vela American citizenship. Yes, because that man is not allowed to play for Mexico anymore. Let's give him one opportunity to change nationalities and come to the U.S. men's national team. I will take it. I will absolutely take it. Roger's still saying he's not developing the team. I blame the coach. Again, the players still need to perform, dude. The players still need to perform. It's just the way it goes. Like, if Berhalter was the one kicking every single ball, I would blame Berhalter left and right. You got to give him some of the blame. I understand that. But at the same time, he doesn't have the players that Tata Martino has. And maybe he was outcoached by Tata, and congratulations to Tata for his first major tournament as the head coach for Mexico, for El Tri, and picking up a trophy. I mean, the dude goes from winning MLS Cup to winning Gold Cup within a matter of 6.5 months. Give that man some credit. Like, holy crap. Maybe he should have coached the United States men's national team if you're on the anti-Berhalter team. There's a lot of people that are saying that. I'm sure there are. But moving on, let us know what you thought about that. The last little bit of soccer drama that I want to touch on before we wrap episode number 60 up is the Copa America. And the first thing I will talk about is the final between Brazil and Peru, and the victory obviously going to Brazil. I guess we all knew that was going to happen. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Think so. What I really want to talk about with regards to Copa America, other than the fact that nobody really cared, was that Lionel Messi, red card in the third place playoff match of the Copa America. It's Argentina versus Chile, and him and Gary Medel, Gary Medel? I don't freaking know. Messi and Medel go after the ball, go to the end line there, and both players get a red card. Lionel Messi's first red card in, I believe, 14 years. Lionel Messi's had 2 red cards in his entire career, and the first one came 14 years ago. Second one came yesterday. Now, okay, guys, come on. Let's be honest here. No matter which angle that you look at, when you look at Messi and Medel go head-to-head, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I do not think Lionel Messi deserved a red card there. You could tell Lionel Messi was maybe getting a little defensive, but at the same time, Messi was kind of backing up. It looked like Medel was going in for the headbutt and almost pulled it off, and it ended up with a shoulder. And I'm sorry. Say what you will about Messi's comments after the match. I thought the red card was bogus. I really do. I mean, you look at players that are not notorious for getting physical and getting into physical altercations and picking up yellows and picking up reds. Don't just all of a sudden pick up reds. It's just not what Messi does. And this was a chance for the ref to maybe show some authority over the best player in the world. I don't know. Like, what was this? This was bizarre to me. I have no idea. Jamal is saying, I know why Peru did not take Collins from us if they weren't going to play him. I know, Jamal. I know. I kept seeing him on the bench, hoping that I was going to see him get subbed in, but he got no minutes. I don't think he got any minutes at all. And actually, Roger saying the U.S. took Johnson for him to sit on the bench as well. I know. It's so frustrating. And I know, Jose, people care about the Copa America. I was just saying that. that was a stupid comment. But I didn't really care about the Copa America too much. Or the Gold Cup, for that matter. I was more interested in the Women's World Cup and MLS, but that's just me. It's frustrating. But nevertheless, Messi got his red card for Argentina. Argentina is one of those teams where, again, one player is not going to do it all. It's just the reality of it, Guys, we've got time for one more call if you want to jump on the line before we wrap up the show. 646-535-7982. Get on live with the dudes in blue. I am going to use, if we ever do this again, I am going to do that because that's amazing. I hope I never lose this phone number because holy crap, it's perfect. I appreciate the calls from Dave and Felix that came in earlier. We're obviously on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dudes in Blue. If you're listening on the pod, we appreciate it. A review on iTunes and Facebook is always well appreciated. And those of you watching on the Facebook Live broadcast, I really appreciate you guys spending time with me because this is not easy running a show by yourself, taking comments, taking calls, trying to stick to some kind of a format and some topics here. But I really appreciate you guys hanging with me and making this thing last as long as it's lasting. I didn't think I was going to be able to do, 35, 45 minutes of talk by myself, but you guys are making it easy. One more time, 646-535-7982. If you want to get on the call for one last call for the Dudes in Blue for episode number 160. Oh, my God, Adrian, who's the Dude of the Week? Oh, my God, you see? Somebody is keeping me on my toes. Adrian, that's fantastic. And if somebody wants to call and talk about who they think the Dude of the Week was, 646-535-7982. Give me a call. In the comments, who was your Dude of the Week? This is a tough one. Because there was so much soccer to go over. Where do we want to pull the Dude of the Week from? Do we want to pull it from NYCFC? Or do we want to pull it from the Women's World Cup? Do we want to pull it from the Copa America? Do we want to pull it from the Gold Cup? Where do we want to pull this from? Tell me in the comments. And please, somebody wants to give me a break and talk instead of me. 646-535-7982. I feel like I'm pulling a radiothon, taking donations or something for for 15 cents a day, you can play for the U.S. men's national team. Just call 646-535-7982. Just 15 cents a day. 15 cents a day. Roger is saying the third rail is Dude of the Week for that TIFO game that they brought. That's cool. Stephen Berg is saying Megan Rapinoe. I was kind of leaning towards Megan Rapinoe for doing what she did in the World Cup, having as good of a World Cup as she did. She could be the first dudette of the week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Ofori for that 30-yard goal. Somebody's given a nod to Ofori. That was a fantastic goal. Daniel's voting me for Dude of the Week. I will be the dude without a voice this week, if nothing else. That's for damn sure. Who are we giving it to? I think the low-hanging fruit here. Oh, Rose Lavelle. Yeah, that's a good one for the goal. But on the week, I don't know. It's really difficult. I mean, it's tough. Yeah, wow, it's tough. I'm looking here. I'm not seeing anybody stand out on the NYCFC side. Look, the low-hanging fruit is Megan Rapinoe. For the work that she did in the Women's World Cup. And honestly, for the U.S. women's national team as a whole. Maybe we just give it to them and say, Dudettes of the Week, U.S. women's national team for World Cup. Come on. Twice in a row, 4 years apart, killing it. U.S. women's national team, Megan Rapinoe, Dudettes of the Week, Dudettes of the Year at this point for episode number 160. So there we go. Yes, Morgan for the teacup celebration. I loved that. That was great. People were salty about that one, but I didn't really give a crap about that. Rub it in, man. Rub it in if you can. Rub it in. So episode 160 has been fun. Dante's given a nod for Weston McKennie, but I don't. It's hard for me to give it to somebody on the men's national team because it just was not that pretty at all. Yeah, he had a great goal in the was it the semifinal or was it the quarterfinal? I don't. They're all bleeding into one. There's been so much soccer. My brain is totally fried. But anyway, episode 160 has been great. Thank you guys for calling in, to Dave and to Felix. You guys were fantastic. We'll definitely try to do this again because this is just fun to do. If you guys like the call-in, let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate the feedback. And thank you again for spending time with just me on this Monday night, and or if you're listening on the pod for episode number 160. We'll be back here Monday night talking Open Cup, Hudson River Derby, but no international soccer to talk about. So So it'll be good to actually be able to just talk about NYCFC again for a little while. We'll be back Monday night, Facebook Live, Tuesday for the pod, as always. We'll be Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dudes in Blue. But until next week, everybody, thank you very much, and stay blue.